and even Pinchas, who saved the entire nation of Israel at that time. He didn't save 24,000 Jews. They did die in that action. But even what he did, and this was the sake of the name of the Lord, that's what it says. He still became pasul. He still became invalid to perform the priesthood. Because the kav never justifies. So even he did the right thing at that moment. But remember, even at that moment you saw this should be the right path and this is what Hashem is asking you to do. Right? But there is a flaw there. It involved murder. And a Kohen that kills anyone can never perform in the priesthood. He can never remain a Kohen. He can never do the avodah of a Kohen. Even though this was a man coming against him with a gun, and he wants to kill him. And there are 75 people there witnessing and telling this murderer, do you know what's going to happen if you kill him? You're going to have to be put to death, right? And so it's not criminal insanity. It takes away all of the questions, right? And the man says, no, I'm going to kill him. And then the Kohen suddenly pulls out his gun and shoots him first. Where there is almost, let's say, no question of self-defense. The Torah says, stand up and kill him. He cannot perform the avodat hakuna. He cannot perform the priestly service anymore. Why? Because killing is not part of the cosmic whole. There is no killing in the cosmic whole. Killing exists only
just in the kav.
In the kav.
But we say that what happened.
But if he did it for
illusion.
He did it, but it's even still where? The doing is where?
In the kav.
In the kav.
But we say that what's happened really it's illusion.
Right.
And what's the decision what he did can be a circular vessel. If he make it with the right thought, only with a restriction, without any
So what happened in that case? Tells us the Zohar. Because the thought was pure, he immediately was incarnated as a new person. As Nadav Avihu.
2 people?
Yeah, 2. That's how great he was.
You couldn't get another vessel big enough for one guy, maybe.
Because his thought was pure, he connected to such a high level of purity that he achieved a higher degree of consciousness than he was before he killed. But the action itself is in the kav. If the action is right, then the result is right. And when he became Kohen Gadol, it doesn't mean now that his action was totally pure. It doesn't say that in the Zohar. The Zohar says he still died that moment. There was a death, even though the body received these 2 new souls, but there was a death of Pinchas. Took place.
And this was cleaning also the body at the same moment.
That's right. The body went through clinical death.
It was cleaning also the body.
That's right.
And then it can.
That's right. And then it continued. Because the thought was pure, the action was pure, the result. But the result did not, the sof did not be matzdik, did not justify the means. The means is never justified if it involves thou shalt not kill. He killed, as justifiable as it is. In the kav, you are not permitted to kill. And if there is a killing, it is impure.
What other choice did he have? Did he have
None.
the power to do anything?
None. There was no other choice.
He made a sacrifice.
But in the final analysis,
He was doing restriction.
he did restriction because he didn't mean it only, he meant it for the whole world, right?
Yes.
But in the kav, you see, there is a flaw. The kav is a flaw. Activity is a flaw. Activity is a flaw. It is only when there is no activity, like the spiritual people just want to be up there. Why do you think they want to fly? Why do spiritual people want to get away from human activity? It's really what we're talking about. It's a great feeling, because where there is activity, there is flaw. You don't feel as comfortable with human activity. Now, some people think they are comfortable with being in a business and so on, but look at all the headaches that are accompanied with that's a real illusion. Boy, am I having a great time in my business, but when can I go on vacation? I mean, he can't wait to get into the business, but he, at the same time, can't wait to get away from it. I mean, so look at the contradiction. So obviously there is a flaw. They don't want to recognize it. But real spiritual people make every effort to move away from any physical human activity, because that's not where the real world is. The real world is not connected. Unfortunately, there is no other way to achieve a revealment in the encircling vessels,
By activity?
but by activity. That's the paradox.
Asiyah is action. It's the
That's
world
right.
of action.
It's the world of action. Unfortunately, we have to be in the world of action.
The only way you bring it about is
But
through action.
That is correct.
And the only action is restriction.
Therefore, you can't go up on a mountain. That's right.
I'm saying that the person sees
Thank
something
you.
and then it's revealed his real desire, and that's why he wants it.
That's
like
right.
Pinchas, what happened there? He saw this man that doing something wrong.
Right.
It was included in his desire to go and kill him, or not?
No, he understood.
The question if it's coming from his real desire to go and kill this man.
It did not. You're asking where did it? That's a good question. Where did it come from? If he was totally pure, as we want to say now that he was, and therefore, how do I know he was totally pure? Because look what happened. He went to a higher level of consciousness than before. Obviously, the action was right. But you're asking, where did that action come from? Only Pinchas could have decided that was the Sitra Achra. When you have a Sitra Achra, and that's what we discussed before, if we are totally convinced that this is the other side, meaning there is no light there, then what is human activity? Restriction. What does restriction cause?
Revealing of light.
The revealing of light and the removal of the klippah, because the more we reveal the light, meaning we take away the light from the Sitra Achra that robbed the light, this is really the tikkun. We restore, that's tikkun, we restore the light. What do you mean restore? It involves more than restoring the light. I take it away from the klippah that's within me.
There's always light. The question is if with the
Where it
klippah
is.
or the neshama.
Or with the neshama. So when I do a human activity of restriction, I restore. That's why it's called tikkun. What do you mean? You metaken what? A metaken, that light, I bring it back to its rightful place. That means cosmically, individually, we all have this klippah that says kill, steal, lie. Where did that energy come from that I want to lie, steal, and do whatever personally I want to do wrong? Where does it come from? It comes from the Sitra Achra that's within me that has captured from a prior incarnation or from the sin of Adam that now says, where does it get this life force to say kill? Because it itself is totally kill, and it gets its strength to influence me that I should want to kill, because it has the force of the light of wisdom. Pinchas saw that vehicle, or in the Midianite, as not only the Sitra Achra within himself, as we should always first observe, but he was on that level that he saw the Midianite as like we said, the fellow in Germany. He was a total instrument of the Sitra Achra. He was total kav. He was a total illusion. And the only life force in the Midianite, the only life force in the guy in Germany was the life force that he robbed, that we gave him. The power we gave him. Now Pinchas wanted to restore that. What do you mean he wanted to restore that? He wanted to do away with the vessel. Do away with the vessel to restore the light back. Now that involved being judgmental. That was really the Aveirah, not even the killing, because what came first? The thought or the killing? Again, how we're thinking. We get angry at someone just hit me. But wasn't there a thought before that? That we never... Here we're trying to study that. The physicist is trying to get deeper, not just to look at the physical expression. Go down. His deeper thought was, he saw the Sitra Achra. That's why he killed him. The killing came later. The physical activity of killing came after he had decided. Now, for us to decide on my own Sitra Achra, everyone can do that. For you to decide that when you want to kill, everyone can decide to restrict. But now to take the step and say, oh, wait a second, and that's what most of us generally do. We're always concerned with the Sitra Achra of the next guy. We're never really concerned with the Sitra Achra within me, and that's the trouble with humanity.
So much after.
Right? I mean, I'm so concerned how to straighten him out. Right? That only a tzaddik or one who has a pure awareness can make that judgment. Pinchas was on that level.
For all the universe.
And he was doing that not for himself, because
actually he knew what's going to come. He
knew
probably
that would
die.
save the world.
Yeah.
And he knew he would die because of it.
I won't be able to be a Kohen.
And he knew he would not be a Kohen because of it. But he felt the benefit of the klal, the benefit of the whole, was worth the annihilation.
But Nadab and Abihu became Kohanim?
No, they were incarnated into Pinchas. That was their tikkun.
I see, they couldn't.
Well, all right.
Yeah, they couldn't become Kohanim either.
They did, in a way, but without getting... I don't want to get off into that. How do I know that Pinchas was right in his analysis? To be concerned about someone else's Sitra Achra now, right? Only because later the Torah establishes the fact that he received an eternal priesthood.
Straight from Hashem. Hashem speaks.
That's right. So in other words, that's the rare situation. That's not the rule. That's the exception to the rule.
He made a big restriction. He got his reward.
So much that
because and he made he thought it through. He knew that he would be pasul to the priesthood. He would be invalid. But that didn't concern him because he saw cosmically this would be detrimental to the whole world. So where did it come from? It came from a pure thought. You asked, where did the thought to kill come from?
No, I ask if it is real desire, because we said it's a real desire.
It was a pure desire. There's only two desires. The impure and the pure. What's the impure? When all I'm concerned with is how will I benefit from this? How is this going to be good for the Jewish people? It's an impure desire.
No, Avi asked if the Rav said before that everything that we do, it's not because we want now to do it, because of the Reshimot.
Yes.
And
the Reshimot is the cosmic whole, the cycle.
Yes.
Right?
So what's the other side?
The other side
It's not for the.
is the kav.
So the Reshimot,
There's an element of impurity.
Where does it come from?
The kav?
No, the desire of the not pure thing.
The kav. It immediately became less. Even in Adam Kadmon, there it's not impure. Later in the evolution, it became impure. In Adam Kadmon, it wasn't impure, but the seed for flaw, for pgam, there was no pgam in Adam Kadmon. There was no pgam over here. At this level of Adam Kadmon, there's no impurities. Only with a gradual decrease in the light. In other words, Adam Kadmon was 99% revealment of light, 1% flaw. We are going to learn how through the evolvement, like from one seed to the next seed, one tree to the next tree is not as strong as the prior tree. Why? There is another klipa, another covering. It's like the lantern, another covering, another veil, and another veil, until a certain point where there was a room for a totally impure thought.
You see, the kav is the seed of the klipa.
That's right. Not Hashem.
More covering, till
That's
we have a
right.
klipa.
That's right.
A total
Therefore,
halal.
we answered, where did evil come from? Where did evil come from? Didn't it come from the Creator? Who made evil? Evil was a result of when there was almost no light. That was evil.
That's from the restriction.
What's that?
From the restriction.
Lack of restriction. Where there was...
He was speaking about the original restriction.
The original restriction.
From the original restriction. That's right. Who did the original restriction? Okay, good. I'm glad you said that, because the original restriction, who did that? The vessel, not the Creator. So we are the cause of evil.
I have a question about the choshech. Talk about the choshech meaning...
Right, the darkness, yeah.
Darkness, which is the kav, which is the illusion.
That's right.
Okay? Which is actually no light and no ability to get any light. It's not a light, not revealed light, but totally...
There is totally a total vacuum. It's called the Sitra Achra. That's why it's called the other side. Why the other side? What other side? It is the other side of where there is a little light. There is the other side where there is no light.
Okay, and my question is...
Wait, Avi, did you get your answer?
So he worked from pure design, right?
That's
From
right.
the Rishimot of the Kilim.
For he worked from the pure Rishima. That's right. There, how do I know?
Even the action in the...
The action was wrong, so therefore me, I would not know that. Only because the Torah. Because for me, he is pasul to the avodah. The action was wrong. And an action that's wrong will always remain wrong. The kav will always remain a flaw, a pgam. It never becomes pure, totally pure. Even in Adam Kadmon, it wasn't already a total light. There's only one place where there's a total light. The circular vessels is the only place.
When you sing,
What?
this is when you sing to go over, like it should be lack, but in the other side it's became...
It's the only way. That's right. But how do I know that his was a pure thought? A thought of restriction?
the consequence.
The consequence, that's right. Only because the Torah says that it was. I wouldn't know otherwise. But there was a given situation. For the rest of us, we have to deal principally only with our own sitra achra, and not with the other.
That's what he did anyway. He dealt with his own. Then
No.
He was so pure that he can deal with it.
He dealt with the cosmic. He saw the cosmic flaw. He saw that if this action took place, it would affect not me.
That's what I'm saying. It's all the same. If he dealt with his own, he's already...
That's nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. Because the only way you can achieve a connection is with the whole, and deal with the whole is when you first deal with yourself.
And
That's
I have
right.
the feeling that he maybe even didn't think about, I'm going to take this spear and I'm going to kill them. He did it without knowing that he's doing it.
He thought he was killing it. He thought that there must be a flaw in me, and that's what's making this.
I think it seems like he wouldn't even know that he's taking this and doing what he was doing. He would do it automatically and then wake up.
As a robot. He was a pure robotic consciousness.
At that point doing it. this. You wouldn't think
There was
killing-
not the me. Listen, I don't like what they're doing. There was no I, you're saying.
And you wouldn't think killing. The thought killing, I think, never went across his mind. It was because it was connected to Igulim. It was done. It was done.
But he must be aware to the act of killing.
That's something-
There was, you know how much awareness there was? As much as Adam Kadmon could be.
Okay.
99% was pure. But that's what Chezi is saying.
That 99
Oh, it's well.
And therefore, if there still must be an element of flaw, how do you address yourself to somebody else? Even an Adam Kadmon. There could be a gum in your thinking. It's no pure thinking anymore. Once you operate on the Kav level, there could be. So, even Pinchas was not an Adam Kadmon, so there was more. There was more than that. But a good observation.
And can I ask?
I mean, are things clear? You know, this is.
Superman is tzaddik gadol, then.
What's that?
Superman.
It's a big tzaddik.
The big tzaddik.
It
But
is a
not
big
yet,
tzaddik.
because he hits people, and he also uses violence.
He uses violence. Then
That's an illusion, isn't it?
what? That's an illusion. Sure.
Use violence.
Sure.